Hello, welcome back everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. In today's episode, we are going to be conquering this 25-minute, 20-question math section for the SAT. This is going to be quite a quick one. I would say the hardest thing about the SAT is the time limit. So in this video, I really want to show you how fast you gotta go. I want to show you my thought process, what I'm thinking when I solve the problems. I'm going to try to teach you a little bit, but like I said, we're going to have to go fast. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish all 20 questions in this video, but let us get this timer ready and let's begin. All right, timer starting now. All right, first question, what is it? In this corporation, 3/7 of the managers are females. There are 42 female managers. How many managers in total are there? So 3/7 are females, and 3/7 is 42. So how many total managers are there? Well, we don't want 3/7, we want 7/7. We want all managers. Well, if 3/7 are 42, then how much would 7/7 be? Well, I know that, well, look at our answer choices. 3/7 plus 3/7 would be 6/7. This would be like 42 plus 42, which is already 84. And so the only answer choice that even comes close is D. So number 1 is going to be D. Let's look at number 3. 3 over x plus 2 equals 6 over y, where y cannot equal 0 and x cannot equal -2. What is y in terms of x? Okay, so let's reciprocate these fractions so we can have x plus 2 over 3 equals y over 6. Let's get some similar denominators, so let's multiply our top and our bottom by 2. Now we need to remember to distribute the 2 to both of our terms. But then we'll have 2x plus 4, and this is over 6, and y is over 6, so our 6's can cancel. So we have 2x plus 4 equals y, which is C. So number 3, going out of order here, so I need to make sure to bubble properly. Number 3, I'm saying is C. Okay, let's look at number 2 and 4. Right triangle CDE has its right angle at vertex D. So we have a right triangle. Its vertex is at, this is D. The length of DE is 8. Okay, so we'll call this E. We'll say this is 8. And the length of CE, so this must be C. CE is 17. What is the length in feet of CD? So this is just Pythagorean's theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c is our hypotenuse. So we have 17 squared is 289, and then 8 squared is 64, and we need to subtract to find our b squared. We get 225. 15 squared is 225, so number 2 must be D. Excellent. Let's look at 4. On a certain high school athletic team, the ratio of freshmen to sophomore to junior to seniors is 1 to 3 to 4 to 6. If there are 60 juniors on the team, how many students in total are on the team? Okay, so what we can do for these ratio problems is, well, what you want to do is you want to count up the total in this ratio. So 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 is how much? Well, 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 6 is 14. So 14 is our total. This is our total in our ratio. And we're told there's 60 juniors, so out of 14 of our total, 4, so this is how we're setting up our proportion. 14 is to total, x is our total, 4 is our juniors, 60 is our juniors. So now we just cross multiply and solve. 14 times 60, 6 times 4 is 24. This is 84, add a 0, and now we need to divide by 4. One way to divide by 4 is to divide by 2 twice, and we will get 210. 840 divided by 2 is 420. Cut in half again is 210. So yes, our answer is 210 here. So number 4 is again D. Looks like we're having a lot of D's. Okay. Let's go down. This is a good pace we're going at. Which of the following is equal to the quantity 8 minus 2i times the quantity 3 plus 5i? So this problem is testing if you know imaginary numbers and if you know how to FOIL. So the key with imaginary numbers is I squared equals -1. If you know this, there's really no reason to miss a problem on imaginary numbers in the SAT. So FOILing is first, outer, inner, last. So 8 times 3 is 24. Then 8 times positive 5i is plus 40i. Minus 2i times 3 is minus 6i. And then minus 2i times positive 5i is a minus 10i squared. Again, we know that I squared is -1. So this last term here, this 10i squared, equals positive 10, as I squared is -1, and then -10 times -1 is positive 10. And then lastly, we combine like terms. Our 40i and minus 6i combine to make positive 34i, and our 10 and our 24 combine to get 34 as well. So this answer is D. Excellent. Let's look at number 7. Tanya leaves her home at 1:30 p.m. and drives at an average rate of 40 miles per hour and then stops at 3 o'clock. If Max needs to travel half the distance to meet Tanya at 3 p.m., how fast must he drive if he leaves at 2 p.m.? Okay, so Tanya leaves at 1:30 and she goes at 40 miles per hour and she stops at 3 o'clock. Okay, so this is how long? This is an hour and a half. This is 1.5 hours. So how many miles is this? Well, she's going 40 miles an hour. So she'll go 40 miles in the first hour and then 20 miles in a half hour. So this is a total of 60 miles. We're told that Max needs to travel half the distance. So Max is just traveling 30 miles. And he's leaving at 2 o'clock and he still needs to get there at 3 o'clock. So from 2 to 3, so this is 1 hour. So he has 1 hour to go 30 miles. So Max must be traveling 30 miles per hour. So 7 must be B. Okay. Let's look at number 6 and 8. In 2004, Cindy had $4,000 in a mutual fund account. In 2005, the amount in the same account was $5,000. If the percent increase from 2004 to 2005 was the same as the percent increase from 2005 to 2006, how much did Cindy have in this situation? Okay, so we're talking about percent increase. So saying 6,000 is going to be wrong, okay? Because we're going up by a percent, not a cut and dry amount. Okay, so we have in 2004 we have 4,000, and then in 2005 we have 5,000. We're going up a percent. So how much percent did we go up from 4,000 to 5,000? Okay, well if 4 is 100%, then 5 is how much? 5 times 100 is 500 divided by 4. And also I would, I kind of hope that y'all would know that this is 25%, but if not, then you can of course solve it like this and see that 5 is 125%, so this is a 25% increase from 2004 to 2005. And if we have the same increase next year, then that means from 2005 to 2006 we also have a 25% increase, So we need to know what 25% of $5,000 is. So what can we do? We can do, again, 5 over 100, 25 over x. We can multiply, we get 125, and then divide by 100, 1.25. Now, I'm using small, simple numbers. I know that this 5 represents 5,000. And so this 1.25, it also needs to be represented of the same value. So this represents 1,250. So if we go up 25% from 05 to 06, we're gaining $1,250. So we're going to have a net total of 6,250. So 6 is going to be choice C. And we are running low on time. Okay, number 8. The hypotenuse of right triangle XYZ is 5 and YZ is 3 as shown. Which of the following equals the tangent? Okay, so if we're doing trigonometry, you need to know SOHCAHTOA is probably the most important thing to know. And this is just a little mnemonic to remember which trig values go with what sides of the triangle. O is opposite, H is hypotenuse, and A is adjacent. So tangent of angle X. So angle X, tan of X equals our opposite over our adjacent. So our opposite side is 3, and our adjacent side is this question mark value. Well, this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So this is 4. So this is 3/4 D. And 3, 4, 5 triangles come up a lot in the SAT. I highly recommend knowing what they are. They can be proved with Pythagorean's theorem. It just says that 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And it's a useful one that comes up quite a bit. Okay, number 9. A survey contacted all 50 households in the village of Batesville and determined the number of pets in each household. The results are displayed in the histogram. What percent of the households in the village of Batesville have fewer than 2 pets? Okay, so we're looking for a percent. We see our total is 50 households, and we want to know fewer than 2 pets. So we're looking at our histogram. We're just looking at these first 2 columns. What are these values? Okay, well, 0 pets is at 13. 1 pet is at 17. Be careful about reading y'all's graphs. Don't make silly, careless mistakes on that. Really see the tick marks, see if it's between the tick marks. Make sure. But this is definitely 13 and 17, totaling 30. So 30 households out of 50 have fewer than 2 or pets. What is this as a percent? Well, we can put this over 100 and we'll get 60. So this is 60%, choice D. All right, let's look at 11. Whenever cosine equals 0 and theta is between 0 and pi, what is the value of sine of theta? Okay, so let's draw a unit circle. This is probably, other than SOHCAHTOA, knowing basic trigonometry in the unit circle might be the other thing. And I would say the most important thing to know about the unit circle is that the coordinates are given in cosine and sine values. So your x value is cosine, your y value is sine. We are told that cosine is 0, so our x value is 0. So we're looking at this point or this point. And then what are we told? We're told that theta is between 0 and pi. So this is 0, this is pi, and then a full circle is 2 pi. Think of the area. Think of how you find your circumference. It's 2 pi times your radius. So that's because 2 pi is the number of radians to get around the circle. So we're looking between 0 and pi, so we're looking at this point. So the sine of this value, it is a unit circle, so our radius is 1, so our answer is D. So 11 is D here. Okay, let's look at number 10 and number 12. Okay. So number 10, way down here, we have 9 to the k times 27 to the 2k equals what value? And we see in our answer choices, we all have bases of 3. So we want to change our base of our 9 and our 27 to be 3. And this is easy because 9 is just 3 squared. So this is going to be 3 squared. Don't forget to wrap it in your parentheses, times k. And then times 27 is 3 cubed to the 2k. So whenever you have exponents on the outside of parentheses, we're going to multiply these in. So this equals 3 to the 2k times 3 to the 6k. And now whenever we have separate terms that are being multiplied together with the same base, then we get to add the exponents. Okay, this is like saying 3 times 3, and this is like saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So we have a total of 8 of these. So this equals 3 to the 8k. We're adding them, we're not multiplying. Don't make the mistake to say 12k, that's not right, we're adding them. So 10 is B. Okay, let's look at 12. For a long time, the price of a certain console remained the same because of new tariffs. The price of this console increased by 50% last week and stayed at this new level. The week Amanda purchased the console with a 50% off coupon, Amanda paid $240. What was the original price before last week's price? So what was the original price? So we have a console. It's some price X. The price increases by 50%. So instead of paying what you would, you're paying 50%. So we can multiply this by 1.5 as it's a 50% increase. And then Amanda bought the console with a 50% off coupon. So we can multiply this again by 0.5. Because she paid 50% of its new value, and this equaled $240. So what is x? Okay, well let's just solve for x. 0.5 times 1.5 is 3/4, right? This is 3/2 and this is 1/2. So we get 3/4 when we multiply the two. So we get 3/4 x equals 240. Then we can multiply by 4/3 on both sides. These cancel. Multiply by 4/3. 3 goes into 240. We have an 80 left over, and 80 times 40 is 320. So the original console price had to have been $320, which is choice C. And if I'm ever going too fast for you guys, remember that's just because I'm trying to make this time restriction. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but you have to be going fast. If you have problems, pause, rewind, rewatch the problem, and learn. All right, number 13. If a minus 5 is greater than 0, what is the value of a? Okay, so I'm looking at this. 69 is an obscure number. It's co-prime. Its only factors are 23 and 3. Okay, and look, 23 and 3 add to 26. If you couldn't factor this, you can always use the quadratic formula. A squared plus, or what is it, minus b squared plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And it's not b squared in the beginning, it's just minus b. Okay. Excuse my math rambling. So this is it factored. And what is the value of a if a minus 5 is greater than 0? Okay, so this might be, let's just throw this on a number line. We have 0, a minus 5 is greater than 0, which means a minus 3 is greater than 0. So, but a minus 23 might not be. So what is the value of a? 23 must be the solution. Okay, so 13 is D. 15. The length of each side of an equilateral triangle is increased by 20%. If the length of each side of the original equilateral triangle is decreased by 20%, resulting in triangle DEF. How much greater is the area of triangle ABC than the area of triangle DEF? Okay, so let's say we have our original equilateral triangle, all sides equal, and we'll just make it an easy number 10. Then we increase the sides by 20%, so we're going to add 2 to both sides, and we'll have 12. And if we decrease by 20%, we're going to subtract 2, and we're going to have 8. So what's the ratio of these areas? Okay, well, this is an equilateral triangle, so if we cut it up to find the height, we're left with a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. And so our height must be 6 root 3 because this is a special right triangle. This is in your formula chart for the SAT, so there's no excuse to not know this. Okay, so our height here is 6 root 3, which means our height for our 8 triangle must be 4 root 3. So we have our base, which is 12, times our height, divided by 2. So 6 times 6 is 36. So for our larger triangle, we have 36 root 3. And for our smaller triangle, we have 16 root 3. So our question really is, what's the difference between 36 and 16 proportionally? And it says how much greater is the area. So 16 is what we're starting with. 16 is our 100. 36 is our x, and then we can just cross multiply. So 3600 divided by 16, we get 2. 16 is 2, subtract, we get 4, bring down our 0, we get 2 again. 32, subtract, get 8, bring down your 0, 5. So it is 125% larger. 15 is C. 15C. 14. G of x is negative 1/2 of f of x. Okay, so this is a quadratic. So if it's negative, it's going to flip it. So it's going to open upward. And if it's a half, it's going to be really wide. So it's going to be wider. So it's going to be wider and open upward. Let's see, which is a true statement? Wider and open upward. So 14 is D. Okay. We have 3 minutes to do these last 4 problems. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it. Okay, 16. One of the vertices of triangle DEF is on the origin. The other two are at 4, 0 and 4, 3. What is the area? Okay, well, this is 4 times 3 is 12. Divided by 2 is 6. So 16 is 6. Okay, 19. A music artist sold 300,000 CDs in 50% increase from 09. How many compact discs did the music artist sell in 09? Well, that's easy. That's just 200,000. Okay, 17. Isosceles triangle ABC in which each side equals an integer has side lengths of 5 and 6. What is the area if the altitude is also an integer? Okay, so we have an isosceles triangle. My drawing's getting really sloppy. We don't know if it's 5 on these or 6 for the identical sides. We just know everything is an integer. Okay, oh, well, think. It's our 3, 4, 5 triangle. So 5 are going to be the isosceles. So what's the area? What is the area of triangle ABC? Well, it's 6 times 4 divided by 2 is 12. So this value is 12. Okay, 18. The equation f of t equals t cubed plus 5t represents the number of bacteria in a petri dish where t equals the number of hours. What is the number of bacteria in exactly 3 hours? Plug in 3. 3 cubed is 27 plus 5 times 3 is 15. What do we get? We get 42. Okay, a cartographer owns a square map. 1 inch corresponds to 3/7 of a mile. What is the area of the map in square inches if it covers 49 square miles? Okay, well, 7/3 is to 1 inch. So that means 49 over 9 is to 1 inch squared. And then it's actually 49 square miles. So how do we change this proportion from 49 over 9 to just 49? Well, easily, we multiply both sides by 9. And we're left with 49 square miles is to 9 square inches. All right. It looks like we made this in the nick of time. I think I'm going to go over and explain 18 and 18 makes sense. We're just plugging in 3 for 18. Let's look at 17 a little bit longer. I went super fast on this. It was saying we have an isosceles triangle, and we're only told we have side lengths 5 and we have side lengths 5 and 6. So what can we do? Well, we either have a triangle where the 6's are the isosceles, the matching ones, and the 5 is the base, or we have the triangle where the 5's are the isosceles and the 6 is the base. But then we're also told that the altitude is an integer, and just from 3, 4, 5 triangle, I'm telling you, it pops up all the time. It's super handy to know. It's super useful. Look, we are in a time crunch and it prevailed. Please know your 3, 4, 5 triangle and be able to recognize it. That's how I knew it was this triangle that we were talking about so quickly instead of this one. If we had time, we could have used Pythagorean's theorem, and we would have figured out that the altitude is not an integer. Okay, let's go back up. Let's look at number 19. This one said a music artist sold 300,000 CDs in 2010, which was a 50% increase from 2009. How many CDs did he sell in 2009? Well, think about it. Okay, don't think of large numbers. Think of small, easy numbers. I was just thinking of 3, and then I was told this was a 50% increase from last year. Well, then I just thought of, 2, a 50% of 2 is 1, and 2 plus 1 equals 3. And so that means last year he sold 200,000, and then this year he increased by 50%, or 100,000, to get the total 300,000 that he sold this year. Okay, well that was great. Now let's check our answers. Let's see if we got these right. Let's scroll. This is it might be faster to I'm not sure what page number it is, maybe 53, even farther, 57 maybe. Okay, we'll scroll from here. Guys, if y'all have reached this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot. I hope this video is helpful for you in solving these problems. I would definitely say the hardest thing about the SAT or these tests is that it's timed. So yeah, I hope you see how fast you have to go. And I was just talking my mouth off. So now that we're at our answer choices, let's read and see if we got them right. So I have D, D, C, D, D. D, D, C, D, D. Okay, 6 is C, B, D, D, B. 6, C, B, D, D, B. Okay, good. 11, D, C, D, D, C. D, C, D, D, C. Perfect. And then we had 6, 12, 42, 200,000, and 9. All right, guys. Looks like we got 100% on this one. Fantastic work. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that thumbs up button. subscribe to my channel. Let me know down in the comments below what you enjoyed, what you would like seen in another video. Until next time, take care.